Okay, so we all know we're supposed to save money, right? It's the responsible thing to do, it's what adults do. But have you ever stopped to really think about what that money is actually for? In this explainer, we're going to give savings one single, crystal clear purpose. So let me just ask you, straight up, what is your savings for? What's its specific job? If you're like most of us, the answer that pops into your head might be a little fuzzy. Maybe this was it, security. And look, that's not wrong, but what does that actually mean day to day? It's more of a feeling, not really a function, you know? Or maybe you thought of this one, just in case. Ah, the classic. But just in case of what exactly? A surprise trip to Hawaii? A transmission that decides to die on the highway? A zombie apocalypse? When the purpose is that vague, the money itself gets really confusing. And here's the big one, peace of mind. I mean, that's the goal for everything, isn't it? But here's the problem. These answers, they don't give our savings a real operational job to do. And the irony is, without that clear job, that pile of money can actually become a source of confusion and stress instead of calm. So the solution is actually a really simple but powerful reframe. We need to stop thinking about savings as this general, good-to-have blob of money and instead give it one specific job. This slide just nails it. On the left, you see everything savings is not. It's not investing. Its job is not growth. It's not there to make you richer. That's a totally different job for a totally different pot of money. The real job of savings, on the right, it's protection. It's there to bring stability into your life, to make you steadier when the world gets shaky. So this brings us to a super simple, powerful definition we can actually work with. Savings is money whose sole purpose is to remove fragility from your life. That's it. That is its only job. It's your shield, not your sword. All right, so let's see how this actually works in the real world. Because when you define savings this way, it completely changes how you experience all those little surprises that life loves to throw at you. Without that buffer, when an unexpected expense hits, the furnace dies in January, the car needs a $1,000 repair, it's not just some annoying inconvenience. No, it becomes a full-blown crisis. But now, look at this. The exact same surprise, but with savings doing its job, it gets a major downgrade. It's not a crisis anymore, something that's going to derail your whole life. It's just an event, an item on the to-do list, something to be handled. And this distinction, this is the real game changer. It's not just about the money, it's about your headspace. A crisis hijacks your brain. It creates panic, it forces you into bad, short-sighted decisions. An event, though, that's something you can manage calmly, thoughtfully. So this all leads to a kind of counterintuitive idea. If savings is for protection, then the most important thing about it is reliability, not excitement. In fact, when it comes to your savings, boring is way, way better. I mean, think about it like this. You don't want a smoke detector that also streams your favorite Spotify playlist, right? You just want it to reliably detect smoke. You don't need a seatbelt that's exciting. You just need it to work. It's the exact same thing with your savings. You shouldn't be asking it to chase crazy returns or beat the market. You just need it to be there, ready and waiting for when you need it most. So how do we make sure our savings stays boring and reliable? The key, the absolute key, is separation. You have to build a wall between your savings and the money you use for everyday life. Your usable cash, that's for operating, groceries, bills, and night out, all that daily spending. But your savings, its job is to absorb shock. And when you mix these two together in one big account, it creates this really bizarre mental state. You can feel rich and unsafe at the exact same time, because you never really know how much you can actually spend without chipping away at your shield. Okay, so when you finally get this right, when you give savings a clear job and you keep it separate, the payoff is so much bigger than your bank account. The real gift is stability, right here, right now. Let this one sink in for a second, because it's pretty much the core message of this whole thing. We tend to think of saving as this sacrifice we make now for a richer future, but its real power, its true magic, is what it does for you today. It gives you stability in the here and now. And that stability today changes absolutely everything. It's like a positive chain reaction. Suddenly you start thinking more clearly because you're not living in constant crisis mode. You act more calmly when problems pop up. And, maybe most importantly, you stop making decisions based on fear. Fear of losing your job, fear of a big bill, fear of the unknown. The ultimate goal here, the real endgame, is to get to a place where money isn't the main character in your life story. When your savings is set up right, when it's doing its job as a shock absorber, money can finally move into the background. It becomes this quiet, reliable tool that just supports your life, instead of a constant source of stress that runs it. So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. If you had that foundation of stability, if you knew your shock absorber was in place, what would change for you? What fear-based decisions, like staying in a job you hate or putting off an important conversation, could you finally stop making?